after asking the question about did humans start as babies or did they start off as adults or teenagers, whatever the situation, it has me thinking more about the simulation theory. If you heard about it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm gonna make another video talking a little bit more about it. I'm just not trying to get into this video, but it makes you think about it a little bit more, because there's three options. Either we started off as babies, but then who raised us? Either we started off as adults, but then were we adults that came pre-programmed with memories and skills so we could at least survive? Or, you know, like, did someone have to teach us what's going on? So even adds another theory that it could be aliens too, because say the simulation theory, for example, that makes a little bit more sense, because then we just popped up if everything's a simulation. Like, I'm on my way to work right now. This is my daily task. If you ever play video games, you know you got daily tasks. I went to the gym, I went to, you know, and you get rewarded every time you do something. You know, I'm getting paid to go to work, whatever. And each reward is based on the difficulty of the task that you take. And you could go, if you, even in the game, you could go, I'm gonna get into it. I said I wasn't gonna get into it, I'm gonna get into it now. Even if you're playing any game that you play, you could do the little side missions, a little bullshit, but then there's always a main mission. And then there's always side missions that are like, oh, this is how you get the Sword of Exodia or whatever fucking crazy shit is in whatever game you're playing. So I feel like that's how life is. You get your main mission, you have your main mission. You could pretty much, I feel like, choose what your main mission is based off whatever character you want to be. You can make yourself buff, you can make yourself fat, you can make yourself skinny. You can just take, you know, a year of eating horrible will make you fat. A year in the gym, you're gonna be in shape. So you can really build your character how you want. If you want to be smart, all you gotta do is just invest in education and learn as much as you can. In a game, when you do certain shit, you have intellect, strength. Even in GTA, for example, or 2K, you could go to the gym, lift weights, and then it'll say +1 muscle, +2 muscle, whatever, when you're lifting weights. And every time I'm lifting weights, me and my brother make that joke. We're like, +2 muscle, you know, something like that. So if it was a simulation, I just had to give a little description of it, then it would make sense that people, they could just, you know, if we're simulated, they could just start us off at whatever age, pre-programmed with whatever memories, and then we just go on from there, and then we have our own babies. But the first set of humans is crazy. Like how did the first set of humans figure out how to do anything, how to wipe their ass, how to eat, how did they know they had to eat? Their stomach just started hurting, and they were like, all right, let me just put this thing in my mouth, and hopefully it's, you know, my stomach stopped hurting. So honestly, somebody had to at least teach us something to start. And, you know, all these tribes, they say that people came from above and they taught everybody and, you know, showed us how to build stuff, like the pyramids, for example. Like, there's no way, I'm not even about to get back into that. Watch the other videos if you want to see. But I'm about to start making more long formatted content just based off of the videos that get the most, you know, like, interactions. I want to know what people think about it. So, and even the alien thing, because there's like a theory that, like, we're seated on the planet, and say the aliens, and they seated us on the planet, they seated us, raised us, and then just got us the jump start we needed, and then just left us here by ourselves or whatever, you know. And then the thing I think too is something like the pyramid, maybe it's just left there to make people ask questions, you know. It leaves like the mystery in the world and has people wonder, because if there was no pyramids and no sphinx and none of those like ancient temples, people would just think the stories of just, oh, we started off Big Bang, evolution. Even evolution theory, like if evolution was real, we would see some half monkeys, half man walking around. It's like, even right now, all we see is you're either a monkey or you're a man. If evolution and we really came from apes or whatever, we would still see some people in the transitioning process of going from ape to man. So another topic to talk about, think about. I'm just driving, thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I think the simulation theory is honestly one of the more like logical ones when you put into perspective of everything else. Because how did the first people start? Even when you go back to it, though, even the thing is, these questions will never be answered, because even if you believe in God, then who made God? If you believe in the simulation theory, then who made the simulation? Then who made the people that made the simulation? And then it just goes back and back. until you just, I feel like we'll never find out in our lifetime. I hope I'm alive to find out, but we'll see. Leave your comments and thoughts and opinions.